The Senate will come to order. Senator Neville.
Thank you, Mr. President. If you're please, everybody in the Senate, please join me and all distinguished guests to pledge allegiance to the United States. I pledge allegiance to the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Majors, please call the roll. Doctor, have a great weekend.
Senators Aguilar, Balmer, Baumgartner, Carroll, Cook, Crowder, Donovan, Garcia, Grantham, Guzman, Heath, Hill,
Excused.
Hodge, Holbert, John, Johnston,
Excused.
Jones, Kafalis, Kerr, Lambert, Lundberg, Marble, Martinez Humenick, Merrifield, Neville, Newell,
Excused.
Roberts, Scheffel, Scott, Sonnenberg, Stedman, Stedman, Todd, Ulibarri, Woods, Hill. Mr. President,
Here. 33 present, 0 absent, 2 excused. We have a quorum. Senator Holbert.
Thank you, Mr. President. Good morning to you, sir.
Morning.
I move that the reading of the journal for Thursday, January 22nd be dispensed with and that the journal be approved as corrected by the Secretary.
You have heard the motion to adopt the journal. Are there any no votes? Seeing none, that motion is adopted. Committee reports.
January 21st, 2015, Committee on State Veterans and Military Affairs. After consideration, the Mayor's Committee recommends the following: Senate Bill 47 be referred to the Committee of the Whole with favorable recommendation, with the recommendation be placed on the consent calendar. January 21st, 2015, Committee on State Veterans and Military Affairs. After consideration, the Mayor's Committee recommends the following: Senate Bill 16 be postponed indefinitely.
Senate Services.
January 23rd, 2015, correctly printed Senate Bills 100 and 101, Senate Joint Resolutions 4 and 5, correctly re-engrossed Senate Bill 21.
Second read. Second reading of bills, consent calendar. Senator Roberts.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move the Senate resolve itself into the Committee of the Whole for the consideration of the general order second reading of bills consent calendar.
The motion is for the Senate to resolve itself into the Committee of the Whole for the consideration of second reading of bills consent calendar. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. The Senate will resolve itself into the Committee of the Whole. Senator Roberts will take the chair.
The committee will come to order and the court rule is relaxed. Mr. Majors, would you please read the titles to all the bills listed on the consent calendar?
Senate Bill 41 by Senator Holbert and Representative Van Winkle concerning a requirement that local governments regulate amateur radio communications in accordance with an existing federal preemption established by the Federal Communications Commission. Senate Bill 98 by Senator Stedman and Representative Young concerning the codification of certain phrases previously included in appropriation clauses.
Majority Leader Scheffel.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move the adoption of all the bills on general order, second reading of bills, consent calendar, and the associated committee reports, which includes Senate Bill 41 and Senate Bill 98, and the associated appropriation committee report, and ask for an aye vote.
Is there any discussion of any of the committee reports? The motion before the body is the adoption of all the reports to all the bills on the general order, second reading of bills, consent calendar. All those in favor say aye. All opposed, no. The ayes have it, and the reports are adopted. Is there discussion on any of the bills listed on the general orders consent calendar? Seeing none, the motion before the body is the adoption of all the bills on the general order, second reading of bills consent calendar. All in favor say aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it, and the bills are adopted. Majority Leader Scheffel.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move the committee rise and report.
The motion before the body is to rise and report. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it, and the committee will rise and report.
I know. The Senate will come back to order. Senator Roberts.
Thank you, Mr. President. The committee has met and had a number of bills under consideration. Mr. Majors, would you please read the report?
January 23rd, 2015, Mr. President, your committee of the whole takes the report is under consideration the following attached bills being second reading thereof makes following recommendations thereon. Senate Bill 41 and Senate Bill 98 as amended passed on second reading and ordered engrossed placed on the counter for third reading and final passage.
Senator Roberts.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move for adoption of the report.
The motion before us is the adoption of the committee of the whole report. Are there any no votes? Seeing none, with 33 ayes, 0 no, 0 absent, 2 excused, the committee of the whole report is adopted. Senate Bill 1541, Senate Bill 15098, as amended, passed on second reading and ordered engrossed and placed on the calendar for third reading and final passage. Consideration of resolutions. Oh, we're going to seconds, I'm sorry. Belay that. Senator Roberts. Second reading of bills, Senator Roberts.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move the Senate resolve itself into the committee of the whole for the consideration of the general order, second reading of bills calendar.
The motion before us is that the Senate resolve itself into the committee of the whole for second reading of bills, general order, second reading of bills. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those no. The Senate will be resolved into the committee of the whole. Senator Roberts will take the chair. Sorry. I just figured it was a given.
The committee will come to order and the court rule is relaxed. Mr. Majors, would you please read the title to Senate Bill 24?
Senate Bill 24 by Senators Sonnenberg and John and Representative Wright concerning updates to the local government audit law to maintain consistency with audit standards.
Senator John.
Thank you. I move Senate Bill 24 and the committee report to Senate Bill 24.
Okay, there is no committee report.
There is none. There should be.
We're going to take a brief senatorial 5. The committee will come back to order. Majority Leader Scheffel.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Colleagues, this bill was amended in committee, and the report is not ready, so I'm going to move that Senate Bill 24 lay over to Monday, January 26th.
Does someone actually have the amendment that they did? Does anybody, does the bill sponsor have a copy of the amendment?
There was no amendment.
Really?
I was there because it was actually going to go on the consent calendar. There was testimony from the constituents.
Our only bill.
It was our only bill.
He needs to just make a motion.
Okay.
And then recognize Shuffle again.
Speak to the staffer, David Bozier.
All right, the committee will come back to order. The motion before the body is to lay over Senate Bill 24 to Monday, January 26th. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it, and Senate Bill 24 will lay over till Monday, January 26th.
Hey, Kev, so are you?
Majority Leader Scheffel. Majority Leader Scheffel.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move we rise and report.
The motion before the body is to rise and report. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it, and the committee will rise and report.
So, Cindy? Senate will come back to order. Senator Roberts.
Thank you, Mr. President. The committee has met and had one bill with an invisible amendment under consideration. Mr. Majors, would you please read the report?
Majors.
January 23rd, 2015, Mr. President, your committee of the whole believes the report is under consideration of the following tax bill being the second reading thereof makes following recommendation thereon. Senate Bill 24 laid over until January 26, 2015, retaining its place on the calendar.
So he read the whole thing, so I don't have to read that. After we adopt the committee of the whole report. Okay. Senator Roberts.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move for the adoption of the report.
The motion before the Senate is the adoption of the committee of the whole report. All those in favor say aye. Opposed, no. I think the ayes have it. The report is adopted. Senate Bill 1524 laid over until 126-2015, retaining its place on the calendar. Consideration of resolutions. Ready to roll? Just one sec. Mr. Majors, would you please read the title of the Senate Joint Resolution 15005?
Senate Joint Resolution 5 by Senator Sonnenberg and Representative Ryden concerning the designation of January 23rd, 2015, Colorado 4-H Day.
Senator Sonnenberg.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move Senate Joint Resolution 5 and ask that it be read at length.
Majors.
Whereas the Colorado 4-H Youth Development Program is founded on the notion that youth are a vital resource for ensuring a better tomorrow and that assisting youth as they prepare for the future is the 4-H program's central mission. And whereas the Colorado 4-H program is an integral part of Colorado State University Extension and is fundamental to the land-grant university mission. And whereas more than 100,000 Colorado youth, with the guidance of nearly 10,000 adult and youth volunteer leaders, currently contribute to their communities and gain practical experience in such subject areas as workforce preparation and career exploration, leadership and volunteerism, character and ethics, food and nutrition, agriculture and natural resources, conservation, consumer decision-making, veterinary medicine, animal sciences, and public speaking, just to name a few. And whereas Colorado 4-H returns $45 million annually to the Colorado economy, plus $31 million in added value of volunteer time contribution, resulting in a tenfold return on investment over the cost to conduct the program. And whereas an 8-year longitudinal study of positive youth development recently completed by the Tufts University demonstrates that 4-H members are less likely to engage in risky behavior such as drinking, smoking, and drug use, 2 times more likely to go to college, 3 times more likely to delay sexual activity by grade 12, 2 times more likely to exercise and be physically active, and 3 times more likely to contribute to their communities than their peers who are not 4-H members. And whereas participation in 4-H in Colorado is open to youth from all economic, social, and cultural backgrounds between the ages of 5 and 19. Now, therefore, be resolved by the Senate of the 70th General Assembly of the State of Colorado, the House of Representatives concurring herein, that the General Assembly salutes the Colorado 4-H program in its efforts to prepare Colorado's youth for the future, providing a wealth of opportunities for young people to acquire decision-making, leadership, and communication skills, as well as a host of other life skills in a hands-on, friendly learning environment. That the General Assembly commends Colorado State University Extension for its work in supporting the mission of the Colorado 4-H program. That the General Assembly recognizes the invaluable contribution of the thousands of adult volunteers whose efforts enhance the 4-H experience for Colorado youth. That the General Assembly encourages young people in Colorado to get a head start on life by participating in 4-H activities, and that the General Assembly hereby declares January 23rd, 2015, Colorado 4-H Day, in recognition of the 4-H program's efforts on behalf of Colorado's youth. Be it further resolved that a copy of this joint resolution be sent to Jeff Goodwin at the State 4-H office at Colorado State University Extension.
Senator Sonnenberg.
Thank you, Mr. President. Members, it's an honor to bring the 4-H resolution again this year. I've done it for a number of years in the House, and the reason it's an honor is I credit 4-H with giving me the skills that I need with regard to leadership, speaking, those type of things from 4-H. You know, the discipline I learned there, and I can talk about this, and if those of you that were in 4-H, you understand this, one of my biggest pains in 4-H was doing record books. And I always did them the night before or 2 nights before, and my parents always nagged, and then I nagged at my kids as well. But as I learned that discipline, as I learned the importance of not procrastinating, that has helped me in being able to do the things that we do here at the Capitol, and quite frankly, the things that I do to make sure that my farm and ranch indeed is profitable, and I understand the finances simply because of those record books. One of the things I want to tell you about 4-H, and when I was in 4-H, obviously my biggest emphasis was agriculture, but I also did a lot of other things. Learned leather craft, woodworking. There were so many opportunities, and now 4-H is not just a rural agriculture organization. 4-H is something that encompasses the entire state, and especially in our urban areas when it comes to learning engineering, rocket science. Those type of things are being taught in 4-H now. So our urban cousins are working with our rural cousins as they join together in a wonderful organization that, as you heard in the resolution, develops better youth to become better adults for us here in Colorado and makes better leaders. With that, ladies and gentlemen, I would ask for your aye vote on Resolution 5.
Senator Crowder.
Thank you, Mr. President. I also would like to add my support to the Resolution 5. I think there's one thing that's overlooked by 4-H, which is, you know, I've always been impressed by. You know, we claim that 4-H individuals that are involved in this learn skills and learn how to develop livestock and whatnot. The reality of those that have been in the cattle business for as long as myself and the senator, we actually learn from you. We actually learn from you the trends of livestock and what can be done with a particular breed or a feeding program. So even though we stand up here as, well, as older adults and claim that this teaches you, the reality is you teach us as much as we teach you. And, you know, 4-H is alive and well in southern Colorado, as I'm sure it is in all of your areas. But it's a very worthwhile program. Not only for those that are in it, but us adults also. And for that, I thank you. Thank you.
Senator Donovan.
Thank you, Mr. President. I would like to add my voice to asking for support on this resolution. 4-H does great work on learning leadership as well as life skills and looking at citizenship. So I ask for an aye vote on this resolution. Thank you.
Further discussion. Senate Joint Resolution 5. Seeing none, the motion before us is the adoption of Senate Joint Resolution 5. Are there any no votes? With 33 ayes, 0 no, 0 absent, 2 excused, Senate Joint Resolution 5 is adopted. Co-sponsors. Senator Sonnenberg.
Thank you, Mr. President. I would move that the current roll call be added as co-sponsors.
Is there objection? Seeing none, the current roll call will be added as co-sponsors. Announcements. Senator Sonnenberg.
Thank you, Mr. President. It's my privilege today to introduce a couple, or actually one large group. We have a number of 4-H'ers here, but I want to single out, first of all, over here we have the state officer team of the Colorado 4-H. So if you could help me welcome the officers from 4-H, have them stand up.
Continue.
Thank you, Mr. President. And then I would also like all of the other 4-Hers that are here today and understand that we have a contingent from Denver as well that understand this that I talked about. So if we could have all of the other 4-Hers in the gallery and on the floor here stand up and help us welcome you to the chamber. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Senator Sonnenberg. Further announcements. Senator Baumgartner for the final announcement in this category.
Thank you, Mr. President. And yes, this is the last day that we are going to be accepting donations. I want to thank everyone that has given and thank everyone that I know is going to give between now and the time that we leave this morning. Junior Livestock Auction. Again, this is for those children's education in the future. You can, again, give from your campaign finance. You can give large amounts because it is tax deductible. Give something. Give all you can. And thank you, Mr. President, for this final announcement of mine this morning.
Senator Donovan, for your final announcement in this category during this year.
Yes, it is. Thank you, Mr. President. The auction is this evening. And a reminder that all of the funds that we are able to gather, 90% of that goes directly to the student whose animal we buy. Another 10% of that money goes to support the overall scholarship fund that the National Western Stock Show has established. And all of these funds go to support students who are going to pursue careers in agribusiness, which is critical to the future of our state as we acknowledge the importance of agriculture in our state. So all of your dollars are much appreciated, and we will put them to good use tonight at the Junior Livestock Auction. Mr. President, thank you.
Thank you, Senator Donovan. Will you please come get my contribution to the effort? Senator Crowder.
Thank you, Mr. President. I was curious on the Western Livestock donation. I would ask the two sponsors of this to give us a report Monday on see how this went. And this is one thing we've never had. How successful is it?
Senator Sonnenberg.
Thank you, Mr. President. Well, I did this the first day. We didn't get much in on the first day, so I'm going to offer it to you again. If you want to make me hurt, if you want to inflict pain on me, I will match you dollar for dollar for what you donate today. So whatever's donated today, I will match dollar for dollar for the sale tonight.
With that being heard, Senator Donovan, would you please come back and I will retrieve my donation and I will increase it by 2.5 times since you will match it. Get all your Benjamin friends. Senator Hodge.
Thank you. I am just up here to absolutely encourage you all to donate to this cause. I remember the year that we could afford a chicken, and I think that we should do a little better than a chicken this year.
Chicken needs purchasing too. Senator Neville.
Thank you, Mr. President. I don't have anything more to talk about farm animals, but on another subject that's probably maybe closely related. The Joint Technology Committee will be meeting at 1:30 today, but the room has changed. It will be in room 109, House Conference Room 109. Thanks.
Further announcements. Committee reports.
January 22nd, 2015, Committee on Health and Human Services. After consideration, the Mayor's Committee recommends the following Senate Bill 15 be amended as follows and as so amended, referred to the Committee on Business, Labor, and Technology with favorable recommendation. January 22nd, 2015, Committee on Health and Human Services. After consideration, the Mayor's Committee recommends the following Senate Bill 12 be amended as follows and as so amended, referred to the Committee on Finance with favorable recommendation.
Announcements. Jury Leader Sheffel.
Thank you, Mr. President. Colleagues, we're waiting for introduction of bills, and so we are going to keep the desk open today. You do not need to return, but for that purpose, Mr. President, I move the Senate recess to 10 a.m. this morning.
You have heard the motion that the Senate recess until 10 a.m. this morning. All in favor say aye. Opposed, no. The Senate will be recessed until 10 a.m.